Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. It is me, Jordan Young, back with another bussin'. Certified Hood Classic, no cap on God. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys a couple of my latest pickups, the Air Jordan 4 Wet Cements, as well as a bit of an exclusive pair here, the No Two Ways M1 Hike Ultimate Trainer, the collaboration with UK grime artist JME. If you guys have been following the channel recently, you'll have probably noticed that I haven't been picking up that many sneakers. And that's partly down to the fact that in recent times, there's been nothing but crap that's come out. No, I'm only joking, If you've been following me on IG, you'll have also probably noticed that I've been selling a lot of my collection through my Instagram stories. And the reason is, man, I'm just trying to free up some space. When you are a sneaker content creator, you're generally in the habit of getting lots of new sneakers in to make content on and to try out and to blah blah blah, but you're also in the business of continuing to wear away the available space that you have in your house to live in. And so I've been in this sort of balancing out process over the past month, so I haven't been copping much, but that all changed today. I thought I would go for a cruise around central London after my gym session to see what cool sneakers are sitting around. I was kind of in the market for some running shoes because I need some new runners, so I was having a look at some of the different Asics, as well as some of the different Altras and Salomons and Ons and stuff. But to my surprise, I spotted a pair of the recently released Air Jordan 4 Wet Cements sitting. I had to pick these up. These sold out when they initially released 2 or 3 weeks ago, I think, and they've actually been reselling in different parts of the world. So I don't know what happened. I don't know if this is a pair or these are pairs that people have returned, or maybe this is stock that they just didn't put out in the initial drop. Whatever the case may be, for whatever reason, here in the UK, here in London, Jordan 4 Wet Cements are sitting. Before we get to the Wet Cements and talk about the Jordan 4 market, I want to quickly talk about this pair here. This is the latest pair from No Two Ways. And if you guys don't know about No Two Ways, these guys are a London-based sneaker brand. They've been pretty hot now for a number of years. They first started making sneakers back in 2020. And No Two Ways were nice enough to invite me down to a pop-up, little intimate get-together last week to celebrate this sneaker and the collaboration with grime artist JME. The pair is pretty cool, man. It is like the ultimate London trainer. So it's a trail ready trainer. It's very rugged, it's very robust, it's very well made. The quality on the materials is fantastic. It's got this massive chunky sole. It's got this reinforced canvas material on the upper. You got a mixture of really hard wearing materials, drawstring on the laces, little pull tab on the back. It very much is the sort of quintessential London trainer, or the OG Mandem crepe. Really understated, really discreet, and if you don't know who JME is, be sure to go and check out his music on Spotify or all the different streaming platforms. And if you guys aren't familiar with No Two Ways and their different trainers, be sure to go and check them out online as well. Really thankful to get my pair, really thankful to get my box also signed by JME. Big fan of what those guys are doing. 4th birthday celebration, so congrats to you fellas over there at No Two Ways, and thank you so much for this pair. Right, so onto the Wet Cements. First thing we'll start off with is the box, and the box, as you can see, pretty much just looks like some wet cement, but the added cool feature is that, much like the recently released Nigel Sylvester box that had the textured feel about it similar to a driveway, this box also has the textured feel about it similar to concrete. So it's a bit rough to the touch, which I think is pretty cool. Getting into the shoes, obviously you've got a combination of iron gray and smoke gray, which have drawn inevitable comparisons to the Jordan 4 cores that we'll actually go through and compare in a little bit more detail very soon. But my first impressions of the shoes are that it is a really nice wearable colorway. Like, much like the cores, I don't know how you can mess up matching these up. Very monochromatic. You've just got the 2 different shades of gray. Good quality looking material on the upper. The nubuck material is pretty nice. It's quite funny, these actually come with this little tag on the laces with a little disclaimer that says, please note, due to the nature of nubuck leather material characteristic, scratches on the upper should be expected. So I don't know if that's them just trying to excuse themselves of poor quality control, or just maybe bring down your expectations a little bit. But if I actually inspect the nubuck on the upper, mine don't really have that many scratches to speak of. So QC wise, I'm pretty happy with these. The difference in material changes when you get down to the mudguard. You have this sort of cracked leather material that wraps around the bottom, and that features in this smoke gray hue, and then that same tone also crosses over down into the midsole and into the outsole. And the outsole itself is also predominantly smoke gray with a little iron gray Jumpman in the middle. So really nice color complementation. In terms of extras, you don't get any extras, but you do get these flat laces that also feature in an iron gray shade, and this has also bolstered the same comparisons we were talking about before to the cores. You get a nice suede material on the tongue with a debossed Jumpman logo with the flight symbol, which is kind of cool. You also get the iron gray featuring on the liner of the shoe, and the material is kind of interesting. It's sort of like a towel or towel-y type liner, really fine sort of suede material, reminiscent of some of the recent SB liners that we've had. The cement touches aren't just limited to the color hue of the shoe nor the box. You also get this sort of cement speckled feature on the wings, as well as on the eyelets, as well as the same speckled action on the heel tab with the Jumpman featuring. In terms of the tooling is just regular Jordan 4. Like if you flick the heel tab back, it's that same hard plastic material. It does come straight back, but it's not quite as floppy or as flexible as the SBs, and that's the same on the wings as well. It's more of a plastic feel. So the tooling on these is regular Jordan 4. You also get a bit of debossed action on the netting on the side. The netting doesn't feature at all. You just get the sort of debossed action, which looks a little bit like the netting, which I think is cool. It sort of works. The debossed action, as well as the slightly elevated materials, coupled with the monochromatic gray scheme, have these feeling kind of elevated, semi-luxurious, but also really, really wearable. Now, I don't need to tell you guys that the Jordan 4 market this year has pretty much fallen off of a cliff, which is kind of ironic given that it's been a really good year for Jordan 4 releases. I don't need to remind you guys that this year we had the military blue 4s, which have been a really accessible, really available release. Most people that wanted to get a pair of these have gotten a pair of these. We've also had one of the best shoes of the entire year, in my opinion, the reimagined Bred 4s, which are really good in this leather material. Like, they're so much more wearable, in my opinion, given the leather. You can wear them in the rain. They wear much better over time without the creasing. They're a bit more comfortable, in my opinion. And these things are around for retail and under if you want to cop a lightly used pair. We've also had pairs like the oxidized greens sit and then go on sale. The women's sulfur sit and go on sale. The used market has softened up massively. And so if you are a Jordan 4 enthusiast, someone that's been into them for ages, like me and like you, this is a wonderful time to pick up some of these types of sneakers. But this pair here, the wet cements, these were the first Jordan 4 in a little while to kind of get a little bit of hype around them. They did sell out instantly on the Nike Sneakers app, and most retailers run raffles for these. I think for you guys over there in the US, these may even be going for a little bit over retail on the resale market. And so people were wondering whether or not this pair here might reinstate the Jordan 4 hype of old, but it seems like, at least here in the UK, that's not the case, man. These, as evidenced by myself, are sitting right now. Before we chuck them on foot, let's just have a look at them next to the Jordan 4 cores, one of the best, if not the best, Jordan 4 collab of all time. You can see that they're just nowhere near the cores in terms of the wow factor, or in terms of the quality, in terms of the details, but they do hold their own in terms of just like a straight up colorway. They look quite similar, even down to the way that the gray hues sort of change from the top line down to the outsole. The laces are quite similar. Like, it seems like Jordan Brand knew what they were doing in conceiving this shoe and bringing it out to the market, because at the end of the day, the cores are going for like over £1,000, close to £2,000, depending on the size. And so making a doppelganger type shoe available was always going to be an easy sell for Jordan Brand. So a good alternative for sure. In terms of on foots and comfort, all that type of jazz, they're not particularly comfy. Look, it's Jordan 4 action at the end of the day. So once you've broken them in, because the material is quite stiff, I think these will be really nice to wear. But in the meantime, when you're breaking them in, yeah, you're probably going to have to put up with a bit of discomfort. Sizing wise, normal Jordan 4 sizing. True to size for me is like a UK 9 or a US 10. I usually get a US 10.5 in Jordan 4s just to give me a little bit of extra room inside, and these fit absolutely fine. And in terms of style, in terms of how they look on foot, you'll have to forgive the shocking sock pairing. The brown doesn't really go with the gray, but I'm sure you'll agree on foot these look awesome, and I feel like these will be a really good fall and winter shoe, the type of shoe that you can easily match up with a whole bunch of different fits. So I think they look good. They may not feel good, but they definitely look good. And there we go. Those are my latest pickups. Shout out once again to No Two Ways and to JME for a wicked London crepe, bruv. Really happy to be able to pick up the wet cement 4s, add them into the collection. I do think it's one of the nicest Jordan 4 colorways we've had in some time, and I'm really looking forward to busting them out this fall and winter season. What do you guys think? Are you guys a fan of the No Two Ways? Are you guys a fan of the wet cements? Feel free to let me know down below. Thanks always for taking the time to watch, guys. I appreciate it. I'll see you on the next one. Take care for now, and peace.